This is Valerie Van Boeven with the Senior Care Industry Netcast, where leaders with 3 or more years of experience in the senior care industry share their advice. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Dan Cohen. I'm founder and CEO of Right to Music. And really, my goal is to serve as an advocate to make sure people have access to their favorite music, because we're learning that not only do we like music and is music nice to have, but it also has therapeutic effects, and it really can be in some places better than a medication in terms of keeping people relaxed or whatever. So my goal is to change policy and to share the information that we have learned both from our own experiences and from the research to take advantage of this in healthcare and in our lives.
Sure. Well, tell us a little bit about what Right to Music does.
Well, I speak publicly, like today with you, and work with organizations in healthcare and government to develop policy that will promote the use of music, and also work with researchers to promote the undertaking research, for instance, research around, gee, how much does music help reduce pain or alleviate loneliness or reduce delirium? How much does it help people with advanced dementia, or with Parkinson's disease, and with stroke? So in all of these areas, in certain situations, music can be therapeutic and helpful. And so music, people sort of we're a very medicalized society. If it's in a pill, sure, I'll take it. Doesn't matter how long the list of side effects are. Music there's no downside to music. There's no risk to anything negative. At best, it can do great good. At worst case scenario, no change. So why are we hesitating? Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And yeah, you're right. It's one of the most therapeutic things. And we see that so much more recently in the evidence of how it helps Alzheimer's and memory loss and dementia patients relive some of their youth, and, really be able to do things or speak or sing that they wouldn't have done if music hadn't been introduced to them.
Absolutely. It's a real gift for people. It's sort of a backdoor to the brain for people with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia, that even though people decline in terms of their short-term memory and other ways, music is deeply embedded in many parts of our brain that is unaffected by the ravages of the disease. So even near death, people still will remember their favorite music.
And that's totally amazing. And I love it. So tell us, what is the best thing about serving aging adults?
Well, for me, I love serving aging adults with music and connecting to them. Very often people are separated. People lose the ability to operate their record players. And of course, those record players are gone, and they've been replaced with multiple new generation after generation of new technology. You mentioned streaming to someone old, they go like, what? And so it's very difficult. So we need to help people to make that connection to their music. And then when they light up, when they hear their song that they haven't heard in years or maybe decades, that lighting up process with music is just very exciting to me, humbling, and I know that help people be in another place, a better place. And music has a residual effect. Even when you've listened to your music, we all know this. You turn off the music, and I'm in a better mood now, and it sticks around for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It gets your heart beating, and it gets your adrenaline moving a little bit. So it's great.
Well,
and your endorphins. So that's
that's
awesome.
why we wait at a party, a wedding, whatever. We're sitting down, we're waiting for the song we really want to dance to and let loose. And so, well, why is that? So music is closely connected to movement. We feel good when we dance. Music is closely connected to mood and to speech. Even for people who have had a stroke, maybe they can't speak, but when they hear music, they can sing the words of the song and helps them recover their speech. So there's other very specific uses for music that can be helpful.
So tell us, in your lifetime, you are in your professional life, there's probably been folks that have been mentors to you or inspirations to you or organizations out there that you really, really like what they're doing. Who would you like to talk about?
So I've, having trained thousands of nursing homes and hospitals and hospices and assisted living communities in how to set up systems to deliver music to people, their favorite music. I've just really come to appreciate the work that the direct care worker does. So the certified nursing assistants and the nurses and others who are working one-to-one with people. During the pandemic, when people, including my 93-year-old mother, who was in her room for a year, and it was only because aides could be there for her and visit, they became family. I wasn't there, they were. And this is a more sort of a harder reflection, but this has been going on this is pandemic or not, those who are doing the one-to-one care for our families or ourselves, if we were there, are very often it's a labor of love. They don't get paid fantastically, and they really deserve a lot of respect. And they're very smart. I found in really best ways to improve care and to pay attention and be the family for others while we're not there. So it's really
Absolutely.
those folks.
They do become the family in pandemic or no pandemic. Those are the people that your loved one is with 24/7, and they do become like family members. I mean, they look forward to seeing certain aides and certain CNAs or whatever every day. They have their favorites. I know my dad was in a nursing home for a time, and he had his favorites. There's no doubt about it. He had his folks that he really, and he's usually the older, experienced caregivers that he appreciated, how they talked to him, and I mean, he just really liked them, and so we all became, good friends because we appreciated how they were caring for my dad. You're right, the caregivers that are with our family members every single day are the ones that really deserve our appreciation and gratitude. There's no doubt about it.
And as people get older and their family members and friends they've moved away, maybe they've passed away. So they have fewer and fewer relationships. And of course, some family members are hesitant to visit a nursing home due to their own discomfort, or if somebody has some form of dementia. And that's a real problem. So we need to really reestablish relationships. And the more staff does that, or volunteers or family members are encouraged to come, that's really still important, because good relationships, 1, 2, 3 relationships that are good equals happiness. If you don't have relationships with anyone, well, what's the point, right?
Right.
So that's often is a priority for a long-term care community of some sort, and would love it to be that way in every nursing home and every assisted living community.
Absolutely. Well, talk to us about online marketing. So I would imagine that some of your outreach is definitely with online marketing, website and outreach. So tell us what your experience has been with online marketing, especially right now when we can't see each other face to face. And that may not have been an issue for you if you're kind of doing things nationwide.
Well, it's always a challenge, online marketing. I remember the first time I did online marketing. Whatever we got, Google gives you as a nonprofit 1 million banner ads, and well, that was a waste of time. For me then, and now it is about the video, live events of some kind, Facebook Live or others, and whatever videos you can prepare which show benefits of your service or product, and communicating with the people who are in a position to influence that. So yeah, it's all about, that's why I made the movie. When I started, people would say, I was going as a volunteer, giving people in nursing homes their music. And I tell my friends and family, oh, this is great. They really lit up. And they say, oh, how nice, Dan, you're bringing the old people music. And I go, no, you don't understand. I'm really seeing something significant that goes beyond just, the feel good part of that. And so I got a hold of a filmmaker one afternoon and filmed what turned out to be the most viewed video of anyone related to dementia or Alzheimer's globally at over 50 million views, Henry. And then from there, we did a documentary, Alive Inside, which still can be seen today on Amazon Prime or Apple TV as well. And so, but that was really all driven from the fact it is hard to communicate a message, especially if you're talking about impact, that is difficult to communicate verbally.
Yeah, you have to see it. You have to, viewing the impact of what you're doing is probably the most dramatic impact you can have on the viewing audience. I mean, they've got to be able to really experience what's happening for these people. So you're right. I would say in your case, video and audio, obviously, because we're all talking about music and the impact is going to be the best way. But I would say for anyone who is doing marketing online, just like you and I are having this conversation, it really is the best way right now. I mean, I know it's not for everybody, but really, talking to someone else and getting their input and their insight and their wisdom and filming it, but also making sure that there's a podcast version available, and making it useful in many different ways. I think that's really important right now.
All forms of communication, wherever people are listening, large scale, you're one to many. So a podcast is a very powerful tool that way. And the audio visual, whatever gets you to the ears of people, where are they, without having to call one at a time and do cold calling as we in the old days.
Exactly right. Okay, what piece of advice would you give to the senior care providers who are out there?
Um, what piece of advice is to be persistent, to have faith in what you have and give things time. Nothing is going to happen quickly. Senior care providers do great work. Let people know. Don't keep it a secret. I think that's important. Communicate with, providers. I mean, you're talking about the nursing homes themselves or
Yeah,
the people
yeah,
providing, right?
yeah. And I thought you were going to say, make sure you include music in your curriculum for everyone.
Well, actually, to me, that's a given. You can
Right.
only do best practice, I think, if you're giving people what I'm told by Department of Health officials who oversee all the nursing homes in states. They say by far this is giving people their own music is their number one quality of life approach, and that you can change someone's day in a heartbeat. And there's not many other ways to do that. And it also is scalable. It is something you don't have to be there with everyone. You can set people up. They can be in their room. They can be waiting, waiting for a meal. They can be waiting at the doctor's, have the headphones on and having a great time. And so, and it also, when that is introduced and people are using it throughout a community, the morale tends to go up because staff, it's care staff, CNAs and such, residents are more cooperative, they're less resistant to care. So go ahead, bathing, which is often, there's resistance around that, we know that. But when we give them their music 10 minutes before and going in, and we have music play inside, we've got it all waterproof and such, and no problem, it goes smoothly. So and then makes the staff's day better. And that's a great thing.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. If you can make the clients feel happier, the staff definitely feels happier right along with them. And it makes everybody's day. No doubt about it. All right. Great advice. All right. When you have a win in life or in business, how do you like to celebrate?
I think we have many small wins and hopefully not, and many small losses and some big ones here and there. But certainly, a meal, I mean, go out to eat or something. But accept it, appreciate it, acknowledge the win. And then, go on, feeling a little bit better as you go forward on all those other little wins you've got sort of planned down in your head that you want to do. So that's my own process.
Yeah. Well, we've had all kinds of crazy answers, which are all right. They're all good. We've had doctors show us a little bottle of tequila. We've had people, say a martini. We've had people dance. Some people jump into the ocean if they live near the ocean. Some people have a lovely dinner, which I would agree with you on that. Meal sounds good to me. A little glass of wine. So yeah, any way you want to celebrate is the right way. Whatever is right for you. Small, little, being thankful. Um, those are all nice things. So I appreciate that. Thank you for coming on the show. And I know it's short, and we could talk all day about what you have done and what you do. We'll make sure all of your contact information, your all of the things that you've done in this world are available with your video. But you did a great job, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be with us. So thank you.
Well, thanks for having me, Valerie.